Alright, so I'm pulling the coil springs and the suspension apart from the 79 Mark V, and it's the exact same on the Torinos. I made a spring compressor, which is made out of 3/4 all thread, and you can see it up here. This bolt here, right there, that is welded to the end of the all thread, and so when I crank down on that, it compresses the spring by pulling up on this plate that's sitting in the spring right there. So as I crank down on that bolt, it pulls up on the spring. So what I did was I have the car under load and I didn't take the wheels off. I just let the car sit the way it was. I tightened that nut down by hand, and then I raised the car up, which relieved the tension of the spring onto the plate and the all thread, and made it so that when I pulled the steering knuckle apart, it allowed the lower control arm to drop away from the spring. So now the spring's in tension and the control arm is free. So I disconnected the bolt for the control arm that's back up on the frame. You can't see it here. But I disconnected that, and I'm going to pound out that bolt and allow the control arm to fall. And the spring will now be under tension by the long piece of all thread. And after I get the control arm out, I can loosen the all thread and allow the spring to drop out, not under tension. So all I'm going to do is take this bolt, pound it through. Pretty simple. You take something, get it all the way through. Okay, so now it's all the way through. Control arm's ready to fall out. Control arm falls out. You got the spring is under tension. Now this is a lot of force that's held in this spring. But if I can release it gently, then that spring should slowly come uncompressed. And I would use the impact for this, but this is a delicate process. You don't want the spring to come flying out of there. So I'm just loosening the all thread, and the friction between the plate and the nut underneath are so tight that the nut shouldn't even be spinning, and the all thread should be going through the nut. And you can oil the all thread, and that would probably help, but I didn't do it this time. It helps having a second eye, and the second eye in my situation is the camera, just to make sure that everything's going right down below. So I can feel it starting to loosen up. I know we're getting close to the end of the spring. How are we doing down there?
Pretty close.
Getting there? Alright, I feel like getting to the end here. Alright, I'm going to grab the impact and finish the job now that the spring's not under enough load to hurt somebody. So. Oh, we're almost down. Hang on. Yeah, stick that in there. Just hold that nut in place. Out safely, just drop my socket, who cares. Now, if this nut's not too badly destroyed, you should be able to get it off the rest of the way by hand and figure it out from there. But yeah, that's pretty much how I do it. It's not too hard. It's messy on these old cars though.